Hello everybody, it's Blazing Asian 215 with what is TCG World Metaverse? So I've gotten asked this question quite a bit, so I'm just going to make a video on it. Just a lot easier than explaining it individually per person. First and foremost, none of this is financial advice. Alright, this is just an informative presentation. All this information you can find yourself on the internet, so I'm not telling you what to do with your money, alright? That's up to you with what you do with information. So what's going to be in this video, we're going to cover what a metaverse is. In order for you to understand TCG World Metaverse, you have to understand what a metaverse is in the first place, right? So Web3, NFTs, and then you'll get into TCG World information, the who, what, when, where, why of TCG. And ultimately, what is the goal of all this, right? Why am I making this video for you? Why are you watching this video, right? So we'll get to all that at the end there, so stick around. We'll just jump right into it. What is a metaverse? In order to understand the metaverse, you got to start up at Web 1 and Web 2 first before you get to 3. So, Web 1, as we all know, is the internet, right? Old web, World Wide Web, whatever you want to call it. Around the 1990s, they started with the static pages that are read-only information. You just kind of just read them, click through them, search it. That's where all of our information came from. Web 2 now is what most people here are probably more familiar with, the social web. So back in good old 2004 was also around the same time that MySpace and good old Tom was around, right? We were able to customize our websites, add backgrounds to it, customize music onto it, made our cursors all sparkly and pretty. You know, you could go on to your friends' web pages and comment, leave messages on there. And so it's a social interactive sort of web page type. So now you've got web browsers on that, apps, all of them are customizable. So that's what we know as Web 2. Now, Web 3 is complicated. People don't understand it. It's the incorporation of Web 1 and Web 2 together. So in order to understand that, there's a few words that we'd have to go through, which is the word decentralization, cryptocurrency, blockchain, and NFTs, also known as non-fungible tokens. So Web3 is a digital world, a virtual world. Now, don't get that confused with virtual reality gaming. A lot of people get confused between VR, virtual reality gaming, where you put on that headset and then you go into it. Those are games. Now, virtual reality world is similar to IRL, aka in real life. So it's a real life world that you go into, you work, play, earn, but it's not a game, folks. It's not a game. A game, you buy it, you play it, it provides you entertainment. Now, with a virtual world, you don't, well, you shouldn't, not supposed to, Bill, have to buy it, but you go in there and you work like normal, play and earn. You aren't supposed to be spending the money as much as you are making the money. So it's not a game, it's not meant to provide entertainment, but we can still make a world fun, right? So let's break down those three. I'm not going to go into details again in this video because it would take way too long to go through. All right, so let's just go through some of the definitions of these words. Decentralization means not owned or controlled by one single entity. And that's the point in currency and crypto. The whole crypto space is for this. They don't want one entity, one government, one group to be able to control and tell them how to be able to spend or regulate their way. This is more so a big network of people controlling this. Cryptocurrency is digital currency, similar to US dollars, Japanese yen, Great Britain pound, euros, and all that Canadian money and Mexico pesos. Yeah, it's digital currency. We're more familiar with, say, Bitcoin, ETH, um, BNB, just to name a few. The blockchain. All this is ran on the blockchain, which is a record of transactions in a peer-to-peer network. What does that mean? What does that actually mean at all? It means you've got individual computers that record these transactions, and verify them. You got multiple computers doing the computations to verify these transactions. Now, everyone's favorites, non-fungible tokens, right? So it's not just these cute pictures, not very cute pictures, that are worth millions and millions of dollars. So these non-fungible tokens are unique digital identifiers recorded on a blockchain. In other words, it's a proof of ownership. It's a proof of transaction, where it's been, who owns it, where it belongs to. So our more famous NFT projects that we may or may not know are the CryptoPunks back in 2007, highest ever last sale that they've had. I got this off of OpenSea numbers, alright, so don't quote me on it, it may not change. Is a large number, 124,000 ETH. I'm not even going to say the full number, that's too much for me. Alright, and I'm basing these ETH prices off of ETH at $1,500 US dollars. That would make it a $180 million sale. Now, you guys might be a little more familiar with the more recent one, which is the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Highest ever sale, it was 1,224 ETH, which I believe at that time was a higher number because ETH was higher, but in current day value at 1,500 ETH price, it leave it about 1.5 million, which is still a lot. I know that's not the actual highest value because I believe it's almost $2-3 million for the highest Bored Ape ever sold. That is not the ape. That is not the particular ape that was sold for that price or that CryptoPunk for that price, but those were the ones that I chose to use as a picture. Above you'll find TCG World's Dragon Cave Club NFT. All the links to everything will be below. Links to the Dragon Cave Club on OpenSea will be below as well. Now, you see there in red in the middle of this, I know we backtracked a little bit, but utility, assets, and tracking underneath NFTs. That's what NFTs are. Besides just being a digital identifier records, some of these NFTs will come up and prove that you own that asset. So now the utilities come in play when you have metaverses. Utilities are another way of saying benefits. For example, recently an NFT of a Lamborghini was sold, and you said, why would you buy a digital car that you can't drive? Well, one of the utilities that came with was an actual physical Lamborghini. So Lamborghini, the company, sent the person that bought the NFT a physical car. That was their utility, aka benefit of that. But it was also a way of proving ownership. They own that particular vehicle. So now let's get into what is TCG World Metaverse. Let's break it down a little bit more simpler. TCG stands for Trading Card Game. Some of you guys may or may not know, that's where Pokemon came from. Pokemon started from the trading card game. So originally this company was supposed to be a trading card game company, but it evolved into a little bit more than that. And now we're becoming a metaverse. So on their white paper, on their website themselves, quote specifically from their white paper was, earn TCG2, hunt NFTs, buy virtual land, invest, create, explore careers. So what do you do in a metaverse? Entertainment, such as the ways you get from games, socialize, right? Trade, work, etc. The possibilities are limitless because it's a virtual world. What you can do in world is limited, but what you can do in a virtual world is limitless because, well, there may not be consequences like you would understand. Can't jump off a building in the real world, but you sure can in the virtual world, right? And still be alright. We are working with Unity Game Engine as the developer for our metaverse here with TCG. Some familiar names and titles that Unity Works produced. It was Pokemon, Pokemon Go, Call of Duty Mobile, Cuphead, Fall Guys, Among Us, just to name a few of the more popular ones that you might recognize. So this came from their website themselves. You can read it on their website. Link is going to be in the description below. I'm not going to sit there and read it, but essentially it's a play to earn. So more things. Just going to highlight the big picture of it is live. It's a virtual world. You're going to live, own land inside a metaverse, work, build your life inside the metaverse. Play, well, we also want it to be fun. We don't want it to be like real world where you just wake up, go to work, go home, wake up, go to work, and go home. We want it to be fun as well. A fun way to earn as well. So the second word there is earn, sorry. And you can earn through staking, capturing NFTs, selling NFTs, creating a business inside the metaverse. Possibilities are limitless, and those pictures you got there on the side there are some cool snapshots from Alpha themselves. We'll go right there. The TCG team themselves, up and all the way to the left, we'll start with our CEO themselves, David Evans. And then you've got President Frank, Vice President Justin, Chief Gaming Officer Jace. Just to name a few, here's the thing. You can trust the project that shows their faces, right? A lot of rug pull projects out there will hide themselves because they're afraid that if you know who they are when they disappear, you're going to come find them. But these guys, I can trust them. I've done a lot of research on this project. These guys aren't going anywhere. We know where they are. So a little more about TCG themselves, right? Basic information about the plots. We've got 100,000 plots, 800 kilometers squared, four different sizes, 4 regions, and 2 types, right? And then they also have commercial sized plots for major businesses. And just recently, the marketplace opened up for plot resales. Now, if you notice, there's a little chart in the center there that tells you, kind of gives you a little bit of comparison about size. If any of you guys are gamers and understand that Grand Theft Auto, I've played it, it's a very large world, but Grand Theft Auto is 80 kilometers squared versus TCG is 800. That is 10 times the size of Grand Theft Auto 5. Or Red Dead Redemption, nearly 200. That's 4 times the size of Red Dead Redemption 2. That is a massive world. So earlier I said we got 4 regions. So we've got Asia, North, Forest, and East. So you can see here when the slight mouse cursor highlighted, this up here in the upper left hand corner is the Asia side. Here's North, and East is bottom right, and Forest in the bottom left. So each one of these regions will have specific specialties in them, also highlighted on the web page. Otherwise, right in there, you can kind of, if you can pause and read it, might be able to see. But each one of these regions will have, even in the pictures, you can tell, different biomes, right? North is going to be snowy. Asia's got cool bamboo. East is supposed to be a little more like desert, and forest, of course, is a forest. So virtual land, we've also got 4 sizes that I specified earlier. So we've got the silver plots, gold plots, platinum plots, and diamond plots. But as you can see on my screen here, we've only got 3 up because gold, well, sorry, but as of right now, all the diamond plots are already sold out. However, I believe on the marketplace you may or may not be able to be lucky enough to find a couple on sale by the owner themselves, right? So the silver plots are 16 by 16, the gold plots are 32 by 32, platinum plots 64 by 64, and the diamond plots that, let's just disregard it for now, it's already sold out, 128 by 128, right? So these numbers also are not current, so don't quote me on it, it's just for visual representation. So I also said there's 2 types of plots. So we like to refer to them as plots, or better known as land, right? Virtual land. There's 2 types. There's plots, and then there's farms. Plots, you can build your home on, you can build your business on, you can place billboards, advertisements on them, do whatever you want with them. However, on the farm specifically, you can use it as a staking piece of land. Staking we can go over in a little bit here, I believe, but staking is how you would make income, passive income in the world by farming, by putting a little bit of money into the farmland and then waiting for the crops to yield. In other words, you get a little bit of percentage back through staking, which you are only allowed to do on farms. You can build a house on a farm, but well, might as well use the land to make money off of it, right? And over there is a nice little picture of the marketplace. The prices are not current, and the availabilities are also not current as well, but just a generic little look at what the marketplace looks like. So here's a video within a video, fun, right? A gold plot house tour that I made for my from my plot, one of my plots. So let's just take a look. Also, just wanted to note, I did not make this house as large as my plot. There's still a little bit of room left that I could have added more things to, but I chose not to, just made it simple. This is also, by the way, one of the benefits of being an alpha plot holder is being granted access to alpha and play or demo the alpha stages right now. Now there's a really sneaky little thing inside my bedroom that you may see here on the walls. You may or may not know what those are, but those that do will understand fully what those are and how cool it is. Look at that bedroom. I wish I had that kind of bedroom in real life, to be honest. Again, this is alpha right now. This is 3.4.8 build is what we're on in this video in particular. So if you see some glitches, some lags, some things not working, it's still in development right now, of course. It is not perfect. Alright, moving on to Sprites. So, of course, TCG, trading card game, Pokemon. Similar to Pokemon, but we're not going to call it Pokemon because that's already its own franchise, right? We call them Sprites. The monsters in this world, in TCG World, are called Sprites. We call them Sprites here. So, synonymous to monsters, right? But these Sprites are NFTs. Think about this. NFTs that you can capture, battle, sell, trade. In other words, you can make money capturing monsters, kind of like, let's just say, playing Pokemon and earning money, right? Let that sink in a little bit. Now, with the cool little thing that they're working on right now is called smart contracts, which allows you to evolve, kind of like, again, Pokemon. You can evolve. They go through stages, like the pictures above. You've got a little baby one, moving on to a medium-sized one, moving on. And as they evolve, just like in real life, they gain value when they are at higher evolution stages. Here is a ton of cool pictures of sprites. I took this straight from their Twitter page, right? A lot of these concept sprites, they look cool. That's what you'll be seeing. That's what you'll be capturing, battling, and well, kind of like Pokemon. But what do you expect from the trading card game? So here's another video of me capturing a sprite. I know it's a little hard to see. You might have to go into the actual YouTube video channel, but right there I am holding a ring and throwing it at the sprite. And that blue circle signifies that I've successfully captured that sprite. The rest of this video is just me kind of being a little excited. I was able to capture that one as a level 1 sprite, and you evolve them to get to a level 2 sprite, and once you have enough level 2 sprites, you can evolve it to a level 3. So that's me being very excited about having my first level 3 sprite in my inventory. Alright, so other NFTs that are going to be available in game, kind of like Grand Theft Auto, we don't walk around in the world. In real life, I hope you don't have to walk around in real world as well. We have vehicles, cars, and the cars will be NFTs as well, meaning you can have proof of ownership, kind of like how you have car titles in real world. You're going to have them as NFTs to prove, because everything's running on a blockchain. You can prove these vehicles belong to you through NFTs, right? So just a couple of nice little alpha sneak peek photos with me and my brother and various vehicles that may be in game. Again, with vehicles being NFTs, you can buy, sell, drive, and race them. So more photos that I took off of Twitter from TCG themselves. Uh, really liking that white one up there. Not sure how rare or how expensive that one's gonna be, but it looks pretty sweet. Some of these I have tried in game, and some of these are not available in game just yet. So just gotta wait and see. TCG economics. So TCG World, one of the reasons why it's very special is that TCG, unlike all the other metaverses out there available so far, TCG is ran under the Binance Smart Chain. All right, most other metaverses out there, I believe, are on the Ethereum chain. But these guys are going to be able to support not only BSC, ERC, and Polygon, but they are going to be able to support markets on all ends of these. So our token or currency that we will be using in world and TCG will be TCG 2.0. It's TCG 2. There was an original TCG. They had to merge it. But as of currently right now, if you wanted to buy the token or the currency ahead of time, you can buy with BNB on PancakeSwap, which is the far left corner there, or if you're willing to buy on wanting to buy it with ETH, then you'll have to buy directly on TCG's website right now. Partnerships that we have in World. So the website highlights all of these. There may be more that it's missing on there. I'm not quite sure, but there's a handful of partnerships that we have. Some of the ones I want to highlight is GG Tour. It's an esports company. Also, the largest land sale in history right now, currently, with $100 million that they've bought from TCG. $100 million land sale. Let that sink in for a second. That's a lot of money, and that's a big plot of land that they own. Secondly, which is most recently, I'm glad I waited to make this video, is Epic. Epic is a digital licensing company. And then we've got Sandstorm, which is a builder company. So, we have a lot of developers from Unity working on this, but even right now, we are moving at such a fast pace that we are trying to recruit more. So Sandstorm is helping us find other developers to recruit them faster. And one of the partners that may have been announced earlier on, and a lot of people may have already forgotten about, but I find is so important, is SidTech. SidTech is an online university. So what does Real World have? It has a school. You gotta go to school because it'll allow people to get, degrees and education all around the world. And that's the cool thing about decentralized. Decentralized to me means removing borders. So if you take away the borders, you know, this is open to everybody. Not just people in one world or the other world, and you have to ask for permission to get an education in another world. Here, there are no borders with the decentralized world. All right. So I like the idea of having the university in there. A lot of people may have forgotten about it, but Tech to me is going to be, evolutionary. So TCG, to finalize it all up, currently is in alpha. We are 3 something version, and alpha is available for plot owners currently only. So if you own one piece of land, which at right now is at the very lowest you can get, it was about $300 US dollars, one B&B for a plot of land. Possibly less on the marketplace, but you'll have to check that out. Full launch, aka public release, is anticipated at the end of the year. So now what does that mean? Public launch, you know. Um, TCG is a free to play, free to earn, play to earn. So public meaning anybody that doesn't own land can just come in, play the game, catch NFTs, sell them, make money off of them without having to own any land. But of course, there are numerous, numerous benefits to owning land, owning the NFTs, and just join the community, and you'll be able to figure it out real quick that public coming in isn't going to be able to have some of the access that special plot owners and NFT owners will have. So what's the goal in all this, right? Think about it one step ahead, from the past to the future. Imagine being able to buy stock for Amazon at a penny versus where they're at now. You know, cryptocurrency. Imagine if you had bought Bitcoin at $1 versus where it's at right now. I know the market's a little bit shaky right now, but it will cover just like every other market. We have our ups and downs. But now we're at the metaverse stage. Where are you going to put yourself in this step, right? Are you going to buy Bitcoin at $1? Are you going to buy Bitcoin at $1,000? Are you going to buy Bitcoin at $10,000? Even if you had done it at any of those stages, you would still be winning, right? So that's where we are at right now with the metaverse and where I'm trying to go with the metaverse with my investments, right? So just try to get ahead of the game. That's how you win. That's how we win in investing. That's how some people who are younger than me, but take way more risks than me, they're living good right now. They don't have to work for their money, right? Second thing is efficiency. Why are you joining the metaverse for, right? Since the pandemic, COVID pandemic, everyone should know by now. A lot of companies have switched over to Zoom meetings. You, they've come to realize, a lot of these companies, they realize that you don't have to have people come to work physically to do work anymore. What does that save you? You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, put your clothes on, you have to drive to work, then get settled into work, log on to your computer at work, get up, you know, do lunch, go get lunch. Well, time is money. I'm sure you've heard that phrase so many times. Time is money because when you go to work, work isn't paying you for your work. Work is paying you for your time. Time is something you can never get back. You are trading your time at your company or wherever for money. When you pay for someone to do something, you pay for them for their time to do it for you so that you can spend your time doing something else. For example, I can change my own oil, but I choose to get it paid to get it done so that I can spend the time that they're doing that with my time to do something else. Time is money. So if you can log into the metaverse and go to work, go to school, it saves you a lot of time because you can cut down on commuting time, which I spend a lot of time driving these days, right? So that goes into the next thing. Environment, the amount of money that you spend on gas going to work, all right? Airfares to fly to meetings. It's a lot. It's a lot. I accidentally made the mistake of calculating out how much money I spend a year on gas or petrol, depending on what part of the world you are, petrol, gasoline. The amount of money that I spend one in a year to go to work is one whole month of pay. So in 12 months, I spend one whole month of time of work just paying to get to my job of employment. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money spent on gas and wasted on gas. And gas is all that exhaust is not good for the environment. It's not good. The ozone, we're kind of burning through all of our, you know, sustainability out here. Airfare. Imagine if you had a meeting in Japan or over in Denmark or the UK or France or Egypt. You have to buy the airfare, right? You hop on a plane and then you sit there spending hours on a plane, and then the plane also burns off gas. I mean, you're just, is it not easier just to hop into the metaverse and meet with the person right from your home office? Electricity, let's be honest. Yes, it does take electricity to run your computer, but compared to fueling up an entire jet plane or your V6 car, it's, unless you've got an electric car, then maybe you're on the right track, but it's still more efficient if you would just hop on to your computer at home and work. Our phones are very similar to it's actually a little computer in your hand. You've got a microphone on it, you've got a camera on it. You can hop on a Zoom meeting and do all the computations on your phone. It's like a miniature computer. Everyone already has it, right? TCG is working on it currently. It's not available for phones yet, but in the very near future it shall be. So a lot of people have money sitting around in their banks, right? You work, you put money in the bank. You work, you put money in the bank. But what does it do for you to just have it sitting in the bank? When it sits in the bank, it really kind of does nothing. So the question up there is, work for your money or make your money work for you? I personally am a very honest person, so I'm going to tell you, I'm a lazy person. I don't like working for my money. So if I have money, I want to make my money work for me to make more money for me so that I don't have to work as much, so I don't have to work as hard. So if you have money sitting in the bank, it's sitting there doing nothing. As a matter of fact, it's probably depreciating because every day, even in a minuteness amount, there's inflation happening. I mean, we've seen it as of this video. Inflation has just gone nuts and out of hand in this past 12 months. So if you're leaving your money in the bank, it's actually losing value. Versus if you make your money work for you, then you're actually making more money. And sometimes that helps with combating inflation. So how do you do that? Well, you invest your money. Investing your money is how you make your money work for you. And in the crypto world, you can do what is called staking. So you put your money away in a staking pool, and over time, you get an X amount of yield back. So money doesn't grow on trees, but it does take time to develop. That's what I mean by that. So you put it away for a little bit of time, but then it gives you a yield back. You get a certain percentage back from locking it away, right? So it's not like putting it in the bank, because putting it in the bank, you don't get anything back from it, but at the same time, it's not locked away. Versus staking, you lock it away, but then you get something back. Again, none of this financial advice, by the way, just giving you some information. So, in the end here, the ending thoughts, a horse race and a mountain climb. What exactly am I thinking here? So I obviously have to explain myself. With TCG World, I'm betting on a horse race, right? TCG is a metaverse, but it's not the only metaverse out there. You've heard of maybe Sandbox and Decentraland and some other Axie Infinity and other. There's lots of metaverses out there, right? Lots. So what's the horse race? The horse race, well, TCG World is my horse. All right. This is the horse that I'm betting on. I'm not telling you to bet on my horse. I'm just telling you that this is the horse that I'm familiar with. This is the horse that I know the owners, the farm that it was raised. This is the horse, that I've known since it was born practically. And so this is the horse that I'm betting on in this race. There are other horses out there, and so I can't tell you to bet on this horse because, again, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. But this is what I'm betting my money on. is my horse, which is TCG World. However, using the horse race analogy might not be the most accurate because in a horse race, you have one winner and everyone else loses. But that's not the case. So that's where the mountain climbing comes in. So it's kind of like mountain climbing, but as a race, right? So you've got multiple climbers out there. So at the end of the day, we're all climbing to get to the top. All of us, we're all going up trying to get to the top of the mountain, right? But here's the thing. Um, even if you're not the first to the top of the mountain, you have to look back. Look back. Because depending on where you've climbed up to, you're not at the base of the mountain anymore. You're not at the bottom of the mountain anymore. You've made it X amount up. So the projects, there are a lot of projects out there that are rug pull projects. They'll be like, you'll invest into it, give them money, and they'll be like, all right, we're gonna do this, this, this. We're gonna be successful. We're gonna be happy, and then they disappear on you. Those are rug pull projects. You be careful with those people because they're gonna take all your money and they're gonna promise you they're gonna get to the top of the mountain, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and so is your money. So I trust TCG World. They've delivered. They're transparent, and it's a. I'd say you just have to do your research. I've done mine. This is the project. This is my horse. This is what I'm going with. All right. So up there is just a little bit of stats between Sandbox, TCG World, and Decentraland. Sandbox was one of the first. Look at where they are now. They started all the way in 2012. That's 10 years ago. Look at where they are at now. TCG World, actually, I have that number wrong. Technically, they started last year, but let's be honest, Alpha just started this year, and I'm going to go with full launch time. So that's actually an anticipated number right up there. I'm anticipating full launch to be by the end of this year as they promised. Decentraland started in 2020. Look at where they're at. Just do the number comparisons. See where you could set yourself up. All right. So at the end of this video, what do you think? You know, I know a lot of people, most people are afraid of the unknown. They are afraid to do things that they don't know about. They're afraid of the unknown because you don't know anything about it. So, I did my best to try to explain what I could, but obviously I know for a fact that could not cover everything in this little video, and it's still already a much longer video than I had hoped it to be. But I highly encourage that you go out there and do your research, find out more about it, because at the end of the day, you're going to thank yourself for this, right? So I'd say take a dive into it, at least look into it. That's the very least you could do after watching this video. I mean, you're listening to this video for a reason. You're curious. So just go find out about it. All right, well, thank you for everyone for sticking around for this really long video that I had no intentions of making it this long, but thank you for watching. Blaze out, everybody.